Night of the Demon from 1980, not to be confused with Night of the Demon from 1957 or Night of the Demons from 1988, is one heck of a violent Bigfoot movie. So violent, in fact, that it's earned its way onto the Video Nasties list. What are the Video Nasties? It's a term applied to 72 films that were banned in the UK. The list includes such gory titles as Cannibal Holocaust, Faces of Death, and even the original Evil Dead. So, what earns Night of the Demon a spot on this infamous list? Night of the Demon seems like it was trying to be a schlocky, so bad it's good movie. But before we judge the movie too much, let's give it a fair chance and start at the beginning.
His face is horribly mutilated. Most of the skin has been burned away.
The film is told through the eyes of Professor Nugent and starts off right away. Only 2 minutes into this film with a violent Bigfoot story. A man is seen fishing, just minding his own business, when Bigfoot comes and rips his arm clean off. This opening, with blood filling the footprint, I have to admit, is pretty cool. Right after that, you get this happy late 70s, early 80s flute music. You hear this in several movies from the era, and there's just something that I like about it.
Dr. Nugent came to talk to me after he heard about it.
The next Bigfoot story is about 8 minutes in, and is told by the daughter of the fisherman from the beginning.
Well, that footprint in the newspaper was taken by a deputy, except the negative is now lost. And I sat right at the hearing and listened to the same deputy deny there was ever such a thing.
A couple is doing what couples do, and Bigfoot is not happy about it. He kills the boyfriend, all while his girlfriend won't shut up. Without much to go off of but newspaper clippings about the fisherman's death, a small team of students and Professor Nugent set up camp outside of Mr. Carlson's house. He's the one who wrote letters to the newspaper claiming that it was Bigfoot who killed the fisherman. Mr. Carlson reluctantly talks about Crazy Wanda, a mute who lives deep in the forest. Rumor is that she doesn't talk because of her encounter with Bigfoot.
They call her Crazy Wanda. She lives by herself somewhere back in the forest, but it's hard to get to. It must be the same area he talked about in his letters. According to Carlson, she can't talk, or won't. He didn't elaborate, and I didn't want to provoke him. But it sounded like it had something to do with seeing the Bigfoot.
We'll go into town tomorrow as soon as we can. I'll talk to her at the store. The rest of you split up. Talk to people around town. Find out all you can about... What's her name again? Crazy Wanda.
Yeah, she shows up once in a while, poor thing. All she ever buys is candy.
Really? Why don't you throw in a couple for me, huh?
Back in town, the team talks to the locals about Crazy Wanda, learning what her favorite candy is, that she was never allowed to attend school, and that she had an illegitimate baby.
I don't know. Those people are strange. Reverend McGinty took it for a sign of the devil. Committed suicide.
Crackpot set himself on fire is what he did.
Her overly religious father was so upset he committed suicide by lighting himself on fire. Rumor has it that he still has followers deep in those woods.
There's been hunters come out of there. Swear they have human sacrifice. Cannibals.
Really?
Yep.
They go back out looking for crazy Wanda. They set up camp, and well, would you look at that? It's been over 10 minutes since there's been a gory Bigfoot story. And boy oh boy, this is a good one.
We're already in Bigfoot territory, where all those people were killed.
A motorcyclist needs to stop to take a leak. I guess Bigfoot does not like that. Yeah, I'll spare you the details and just tell you, there's a reason why this movie was banned. I especially like how seriously the professor takes this story. Like, I get it, this guy supposedly died, but come on, that's pretty funny.
Through him, mighty Moloch, implant your seeds in the body of your unholy bride.
During the night, the professor and his students sneak out and witness cult members worshipping what looks like a Bigfoot idol. They shoot a gun and break up the ritual, and in all of the commotion, the idol is lit on fire. There's this weird exchange between two of the students. They zoom in too far, and you can tell they aren't actually saying what their voiceover is saying. All this to build up some kind of weird sexual tension.
If you do that, I'll jump you.
Well, sure enough it works, and they're out in the woods making out. We already know Bigfoot doesn't like couples making out, and he attacks, putting deep scratches in the guy's back. But they both survive.
That's gotta be it. McGinty's cabin.
What a spooky place.
I wonder what the bars are for. Don't ask.
Shall we? Are you Wanda McGinty?
Eventually, they do find Wanda's cabin, and using the candy they bought earlier, are able to get in.
Been nice chatting.
What now?
Whenever the focus is on Wanda, there's this weird children's music playing. It's kind of creepy, but mostly just strange.
All we're interested in doing is finding out what it is for certain.
The group isn't able to get much out of her because she's mute, but someone shows her a Bigfoot cast and she freaks out.
Damn, I'm sorry!
Wanda, please, don't be afraid.
I'm sorry, I should have known better.
Not having much luck with Wanda, they decide to camp outside her house. So you know what that means. More stories around the campfire. Not a very responsible professor. Tell these kids a bunch of terrible stories and then they go right to bed.
It wasn't far from here where the body of a woodsman was found. It was horribly mutilated.
In this one, a guy's chopping wood, minding his own business, all's fine, until...
His skull had been crushed with his own axe. And it was in the same area that 2 Girl Scouts disappeared.
Wow, we get another Bigfoot story, back to back. In this one, 2 Girl Scouts are plotting a new trail when they get chased by Bigfoot. Now this has to be the dumbest death I have ever seen put to film. Bigfoot just makes them stab each other. Why don't they just drop the knives?
And Bigfoot's not playing games anymore. Maybe next time he won't be happy just to scare us. So someone's going to have to start standing guard.
So at this point, of course, the group is afraid of being attacked in the middle of the night. So they steal a shotgun from Wanda's house and take shifts keeping watch. One of the students is attacked. He fires the gun, which alerts the others, but all they can find is his blood. The next day, they try to get more information from Wanda, this time through hypnosis. Here, we learn a little bit of Wanda's history. When she was 15 years old, her father caught her with a boy. Apparently, he thought they were too young for love because he whips and tortures the poor girl. If that wasn't enough, Bigfoot comes by and has his way with her. No wonder this film is a video nasty.
My own daughter. You disgraced me.
Next, we see Wanda giving birth to what I think is supposed to be a baby Bigfoot. I'm starting to understand why she doesn't talk to anyone anymore. They try to do a lot of religious references to deepen the characters, but it doesn't work. The father is a crazed preacher, his followers worshipping a Bigfoot idol. They even make reference to Wanda being the Bigfoot version of the Virgin Mary, implementing that this baby Bigfoot is like Christ. I get that Bigfoot is the last of his species and that he needs to have offspring to continue, but this whole Bigfoot Jesus thing, I'm not buying it. Once the baby is born, the father, thinking it's an abomination, takes it and kills it.
Oh, no, don't kill it! Wanda, it's all over. It's all over. It's all past.
Thinking if the baby really is the offspring of Bigfoot, it would be deformed. So the group decides to dig up the remains. Sure enough, the skull is not human. It looks more like a deer than Bigfoot, but it does validate Wanda's story.
And it is the Bigfoot.
Back inside the house, we see some presents that Bigfoot has left for Wanda, and we learn that they consider each other mates.
Leaves them outside by the door.
What do you do with them?
Nothing.
What do you give him? I mean, when he brings these things.
He likes me.
That's incredible. That is incredible.
We also learn that Wanda's father did not kill himself, but Wanda actually killed him, sealed him up in the barn and lit it on fire to get revenge for killing her baby.
I burned him. I burned him because he killed my baby.
Let me out!
At last, we're at the grand finale, when Bigfoot attacks the group. He starts off by leaving the student who shot at him hanging in the doorway, and once he's able to get inside the house, we actually get a real good look at him. pretty good if you ask me. I've seen way worse special effects. Everyone but Wanda retreats to the kitchen, while Bigfoot gets them one by one in slow-mo. Get used to that. Everything from here on out is slow motion. It's no wonder this film is rated the way it is. This is some gruesome stuff. Bigfoot is very creative with his kills. He saws a guy in half and pulls his intestines out. One girl is stabbed with a pitchfork. It's crazy. The demon, I guess we'll call him that, burns Professor Nugent's face on the stove. And then we're back at the hospital. The professor is the only one who survived, and he insists that the creature is real and must be destroyed. But we find out that he is really in a mental institution and is not being taken seriously.
Crazy Wanda. She'll tell you. Make her talk. She knows.
And all the students were killed.
Yes. And others will be killed if that creature's not found and destroyed.
Professor Nugent, please, please.
Here, this will help you rest easier.
Please, Inspector. You must find that creature. He must be destroyed.
Unless his concept of reality changes, my first diagnosis will stand. I have no alternative but to certify this man as criminally insane.
Oh boy, some final thoughts on this one. It's got a lot of Bigfoot, that's for sure. There's a graphic Bigfoot story every 10 minutes. In total, there are 12 Bigfoot attacks. The blood effects aren't really that bad for the time. The creature costume I think looks good. They don't tease you by not showing the creature. You get a nice, good long look at it. The music is a product of its time with that weird flute music, the schoolgirl theme, and all the Bigfoot attacks hurt your ears. It's got some nudity, both male and female, very graphic violence, and very adult subject matter. You should know what you're getting into with this movie, and don't say I didn't warn you. I give it 3 out of 4 castrated motorcyclists.